this lesson, we're going to continue working on the pressure plate. So you'll notice we have a cylinder here, and what we're going to do now is add some fillets to it. So we can't really see the backside, so we want to change the display style so that we can see the hidden lines. So go ahead and do that and make sure that you can see the hidden lines. And then we're going to go ahead and select the fillet icon on the ribbon above. So go ahead and select the fillet icon, and you're going to notice that you have some different options on the left. We're going to essentially select the top surface of this cylinder. So we want to make sure that when we do it, we see it come in on that box on the left, and then we're going to select these lines, and this is the intersection. And so you want to select the hidden line in the back and then the line in the front. And so you also want to select the cylinder on the bottom. All right, so make sure you have those four selected, and they should be on the box on your left. So items to fillet, make sure they're there. There should be those items there. And then go ahead and say OK, click the check box, and then we want to preview this. So inspect it, make sure it looks good, and it may be helpful if you change the shading. Now, I'm going to move this around. What you can do is with your mouse, you can actually scroll in and out, and then if you hold down on the left button, you should be able to move it around. All right, so now it looks good, but it needs 6 of these total. So what I'm going to do here is it has to know what my axis is. So I'm going to make sure I have a temporary axis selected, and you'll see these blue lines appear. And they're like construction lines. They're not really there, but they're for reference. And then I'm going to go ahead and select circular patterns. And this is a great little tool. So what it needs to know is essentially the properties. Well, how many are we doing? What's it going around? And so we know that we just selected the line in the center, that hidden line, and we'll select that. That's the axis for the direction. And then what we need to do is, equal spacing, 360 degrees, because you could just do half if you wanted. So these are really powerful tools. I don't have to make that cylinder again. I can just use one and essentially copy and paste, but I'm rotating that around. Okay, so here it's really important that you have, it needs to know where this is going. And so if you notice, I can click on and expand this, and we want to have essentially 3 things here. This boss extrude, you should just be able to select each one of them, the fillet, because what will happen is it'll just rotate part of the pieces, and that's not what we want. So you want to make sure you have all 3 selected, and notice that they should be appearing in the box on the left. Make sure they're in there, and then go ahead and say OK and inspect it. Right? So make sure that you have 6, that the fillets have come, the holes are all there, and then we'll go around here. Okay, so again, I'm just kind of following this lesson here. So we'll go ahead in our we don't need that temporary axis, even though it really doesn't make any difference, to be honest with you. And so we're going to actually add a couple more fillets. We're going to do essentially the inside and the outside of this what we made here. So you'll notice on the drawing on the right that we're going to select the inside line and the outside line, and they're all connected right now. So I'll select the outside line, and I'll also select that inside right there, and it'll grab them all. All right, and so make sure we have, this is at 2 millimeter selected, and then let's go ahead and approve it. And so make sure it's working properly. That looks good to me. We'll continue on here. All right, so let's inspect this. All right, so you've essentially completed the first lesson here. Visually, make sure everything's there. and you are done with this first lesson, this third lesson here. All right, so make sure you save your document. And I'm going to save this to my desktop. Make sure you can access it because we're going to be making a drawing, and you're going to require that you have it as you move on. Okay.